There we go. Now the mic is on.
Perfect.
I was like, I saw the thing moving, but I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so we'll give it a few minutes, see if anyone joins us. Says we have one viewer so far.
Yeah, it sounds like a normal time, like our regular audience for any given thing we do.
Yeah.
One person.
We have one fan out there somewhere.
I'll take it. What is she doing?
Are you ringing?
She was trying to hit me up. Someone from work.
Uh-oh. Well, if you need to go to the other room to...
I might have to.
Go for it. If you need to return a phone call, do it. Work stuff's important. I get it. It's okay. Hey guys, there's Wiki Bobby here, Captain Cleveland, Axel Slaughter. Wow, that's an epic name. That sounds like a wrestling name. It makes me think of Sergeant Slaughter from like old school WWF wrestling from back in like the 1980s. Mike Styles is here. He says, hey, hey, hey. Hey, Mike. Hey, guys. James will be right back. He had to make a quick phone call. We're getting warmed up here. They got the heater running. I've got my tea I'm sipping on. And we've got leftovers we're going to warm up for dinner later. We had beef stew yesterday. So we're going to warm up some stew for dinner tonight. Bobby says, how is everyone tonight? Well, I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing good. We'll just give everyone a few minutes here. And our podcast will officially start. Hi, Toy Painter 1. Hi, Sears James. Yeah, James will be right back. He just has to go and do something real quick. So, I'm going to sip on my tea while we're waiting. Drogger's here. Hey, hey, Jana and chat. Wiki Bobby says, I love the Halloween decorations. Thank you. Yeah, we did put up more Halloween. More Halloween stuff. So, yeah. We'll be back in the studio for this Friday's show. We hosted last Friday's show from a Halloween party, and that was a lot of fun. I didn't play the video back yet, so I don't know. Some people were saying the audio wasn't that great, so I'll have to take a look at that. Axel says, no worries. Love this time of the week. Your podcast. Thank you, Axel. Captain Cleveland says, beef stew. Whose birthday is it? Oh, no one's birthday. We just decided to have stew yesterday. I'm already putting on my winter weight. Just like the little forest animals. To keep warm during the winter. All the little squirrels have been extra hungry. They're like eating more because the weather's colder. We feed all the little birds and squirrels. And kitties too. We feed our cats. Okay, Anani Moose is here. Connie Cleary's here. Hey, Connie Cleary. Hey guys, Wiki Bobby's there. Okay, cool. Well, if he doesn't come back soon, I'll probably just have to start part of the podcast without him. But sometimes these things happen. He's just following up with some of his work people. I guess they called him with questions. It's cold and rainy where we are right now. Is it cold and rainy where you guys are? I'm enjoying the cold fall weather. I like the change of seasons. Typical James working. Yeah, we're always working on stuff. Love the cold and winter. Wow. I like winter a little bit. I like looking at the snow, but I like watching the snow when I don't have to go anywhere. When you have to shovel the snow and then clean your car off and then go through the treacherous wintry roads, that I don't like so much. But I like looking at the snow from out the window.
Ooh.
And being cozy in the house.
Wow. Are you talking about weather?
We're talking about the weather, the seasons.
Yep, finally got fall here. It's getting chilly. The leaves are turning and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry about that. Apologies.
It's okay. I was just going to start the podcast without you.
It wasn't anything, anything pressing. It was just someone's trying to wrap up what they have to get done and make sure I'm all good with stuff before they sign off. But we're good.
Good. Wiki Bobby says, I already had dinner of leftovers from yesterday and got a hot cup of McDonald's coffee. I told them we're going to have leftover stew tonight for dinner.
McDonald's coffee sounds good too. Dang it.
McDonald's coffee is good.
But the one thing I'm in love with now is Dunkin' Donuts, their frozen coffee.
Oh.
Not iced coffee. It's like a slushy. It's like a coffee slush. And it just has to be coffee flavor. It doesn't have to have anything else in it. But I'm sure those taste good too. And no whipped cream. But man, I love those things. Oh,
those are good like when the weather's warmer.
It is.
I don't know if I could drink that in the cold weather.
I'm going to have to put that to the test. I wouldn't sit outside and drink it, but if I had it inside where it was cozy and toasty and I had me a nice frozen frozen coffee. Anyway.
I do love the Dunkin' Donuts avocado toast.
Yes.
I'm in love with their avocado toast.
It's pretty good. And they got some other stuff on their breakfast menu that's pretty decent too. And that and the donuts. But their coffee's good, but McDonald's is still my favorite, like fast food coffee.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I like from the McDonald's menu is the coffee.
It got whittled down to that.
To just the coffee.
You'll do the occasional Egg McMuffin. You'll do that.
Occasionally, yeah. Not that often.
But anyway,
let's get started here.
Let's get this officially started. Sorry again about the delay, but welcome everyone to another exciting episode of
Living the Scream, the behind the scenes of The Mummy and the Monkey. We are The Mummy and the Monkey. This is our YouTube channel, and we have an almost weekly podcast where we talk about behind the scenes with our reselling adventures, along with behind the scenes of the show that we host, The Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangout.
And that's what this is all about around us. This is our set that we do our broadcast from.
Yes.
Our live streaming broadcast on most Friday nights. It starts at 8:45 Eastern PM.
Where we show a cheesy B movie or a cool independent movie, and we dress in character, and it's just a fun, Friday night show.
You may have heard of a guy named Sven Gooley out there from Chicago, or Joe Bob Briggs, or Mystery Science Theater 3000, Elvira, national other movie and horror hosts.
The big four, yeah.
Yeah, we do a similar type of show, and there are many horror hosts and movie hosts out there. We are but one, and we do our thing on Friday nights because that was the big exciting night here in Northeast Ohio in Cleveland. Friday night was the big horror host night that we would have here with some of the local acts like Big Chuck and Little John Houlihan and Big Chuck, Ghoulardi from the 60s and the Ghoul from the 70s into the 2000s. So
yeah.
Superhost, that was another big one here. So we were brought up with that sort of thing, and it's sort of in our blood. So
what's old can be cool again, and if you're like a younger person who has no idea who those characters are, just Google it.
That's right. And another great show too out there on streaming on YouTube is exclusively pretty much now is Creature Features out of California. Mm-hmm. They're really, really good at what they do.
Those guys are really great, and they're really moving on up in with what they're doing.
Yeah, they're up to 200,000 subscribers.
200,000 YouTube subscribers.
So what are we like? Do we have 5,000 subscribers yet?
We're getting closer to 5,000 subscribers, and we're getting closer to 100,000 subscribers.
Only 95,000 more subscribers to go. Should be easy. A piece of cake.
Is that all we need? Only 95,000 more?
That's it. I mean, at this
piece
rate,
of cake, right?
At this rate, it'll be like 300 years from now, but we'll have at least 100,000 subscribers maybe by then.
Yeah.
No, but we're trying to figure out how you start that fight, how you get that sort of traction.
Right now, we're averaging around 120 new subscribers a month. So I don't know how many that is per day. 120 divided by 30 days?
So every 10 months, like 1,000 subscribers. That's going to take
So at that rate, that would take
10 years, you would have 10,000 subscribers. So in 100 years.
So in 100 years, we will have 100,000 subscribers.
All right.
Oh.
Wow. See, the thing is, too, is and not to critique our own show, but I think we put on a pretty decent program as far as entertainment goes. I mean, we try to be mindful of the content as far as the movies, and again, maybe the movies that we show, especially the public domain, which everyone's seen a million times, and that could be part of the issue, because who wants to tune in and watch Attack of the Giant Leeches again? But that's where we try to, take a page from the Ghouls playbook. It was a Cleveland horror host who put sound effects in the movies. And it made it gave another reason maybe to watch this movie, because you get to see their take on it, or why Mystery Science Theater had so much success with what they did. Besides the clever writing and all the skits in between the movies, they would actually riff. They would riff on the whole movie all the way through.
Well, we just keep working on building it up, and we will, over time, if budget allows, we could get better movies, or maybe some more cool independent movies.
Yeah, well, independent's good too, but they have a limited audience. What you need, I think part of what helps Svengoolie out, besides just being on television, even though he was just on TV in Chicago, it wasn't until they moved to MeTV, and it was more of a wider, exposure to more people in the country.
Well, yeah, I mean, getting that television presence and building that up.
But he also plays. Definitely, they have the Universal Monsters catalog, which.
To have access to those movies, I mean, everyone loves those movies.
I think,
so that's like a given. Yeah. Like, on top of already being an established character, then you add the Universal films. And then boom.
So what's the science? What's the science on that? I would have to know. I don't know if there's any other horror hosts out there, or hosts that have the same movie catalog and not doing as well. And it's hard to say. Is it the show? Is it the movies? It could be a combination of both.
It's all of the things. Maybe there must be something we're missing here. We'll figure it out one day.
Like, again, so if we got to show the Universal movies on a national basis, people would just maybe tune in. Because there are a lot of other, and it doesn't matter who, but there are a lot of YouTube channels out there. And that's the one thing when I do being on YouTube, I'm starting to pay attention to, like, what channels do really well. It's usually people like that review or use content that's not necessarily theirs, but they review it, or they rehash it into something. Or they repackage it.
What you're trying to say is really the real popular videos that on YouTube in general are like review videos, reaction videos
to acts like if we did a Taylor Swift reaction video, it might get a lot of hits.
But we can't use Taylor Swift music, obviously. Okay, and those YouTube channels that use those songs are at risk of losing their channel.
Okay, that's beside the point.
I know the reaction videos are popular, but we can't necessarily do something like that.
But please focus on my observation. Forget about the viability of the channel.
Okay.
But the fact that they're using something that's why they're there, though. My point is because
it's something popular that people are already searching for.
Right. I'm not talking about the viability or how long the channel has because of what they're doing. But they get a ton of views. Quickly. I mean, there's people that just have been doing YouTube for a year, and they have millions of views on their videos.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with some of it's product that review.
But then hear me out. Mr. Beast, he's like the top YouTuber in the world. He doesn't use copyright and content.
I would love to know that.
He makes his own content. Yes. He gives out prizes. He gives out money.
Snowballed.
And it got really popular because people like to see, like, what's he going to do next time.
But I would like to know the beginning of all that.
He does these really over-the-top videos, but he's had to build it up over the years.
And I want to do I'd like to do some research on that. Those are the more rare ones, though.
Yeah.
The people that actually figured out on their own how to snowball it. And that's basically a snowball effect.
Yeah, you're building it up.
But what did he start out doing? Was it that?
Well, go back and look at his videos and you'll see.
I have to do the research. But I said but I'm just explaining what I'm seeing on YouTube. And there are probably a good handful. I would like to know what that pie chart is.
There's a tool that I've been looking at called Google Trends, where you could see what people are searching for on Google and YouTube, just to see like what's trending. Mm-hmm. So what's popular. It's a lot of sports stuff, mostly. From my observation, it's mostly sports stuff that people search for. That ends up trending.
Sports is huge. Yeah. So maybe what Mummy and Monkey do, sports reviews?
No, not really. But let's read the comments. There's a ton of your comments here, guys. So thank you.
Yeah, it's an interactive show.
They're very engaged.
Let us interact.
Draugr says, not sure how much it is, but have you thought about putting out Google Ads?
What's that?
That's paying for an ad.
Oh, well, why not?
Google.
I mean, maybe.
Post every day, says UFO is no joke. Better to have a community.
Well, we do. We
try to
do have somewhat. I mean, it's hard to post every day. It's not an excuse, but I mean, we do post videos
several times a week.
Yeah.
But he's saying to post every day, and a lot of the big YouTubers and big social media people do make daily posts.
So they're saying because you
to
create
keep
this
people
familiarity.
Interested.
Yeah, it's like checking in with your favorite thing.
Yeah, because then they want to know, like, oh, well, what are they up to now?
Yeah.
Like,
but
they like seeing the daily posts.
But they have something interesting, too, to offer as well, I think, the people that do. Because if we were just sitting here, like...
Well, and Thea says, horror hosts are keeping old horror movies alive. Would there be a demand for Godzilla, Creature from the Black Lagoon, etc., if not for horror hosts?
Yeah,
Good point,
of course.
Thea.
I mean, I'm sure all of it, yeah.
I'd riff y'all over a movie, fun stuff. Maybe I'll move to Ohio.
Okay.
Okay, then. UFO's no joke. The Ghoul was the first time I started watching horror hosts in Cleveland, says Wiki Bobby. And then Thea says, I think it's great that you guys shine a spotlight on independent horror films. Thank you.
I love them. I mean, like I said, I don't think they get enough attention. Yeah, and there's this big gamut of quality and everything. But I like the fact that somebody completed something. I think that's the one thing that impresses me the most about any movie, whether it's professional or independent. I mean, getting a project done from start to finish is no easy task. So,
Michael Harlan says, I think having to be more PC and more mindful of the mini monsters may hinder subscribers. Not to say either is wrong.
Doesn't Svengoolie?
Yeah, what about Svengoolie? He gets
totally,
2 million views a week, and he's very kid-friendly.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a very kid-friendly show.
If they put his stuff, that's the thing with his show, because of the movie rights, I'm surprised they just don't do like an abbreviated Svengoolie show for the internet, for YouTube or something. But they can't broadcast his stuff on YouTube or the internet because of the rights.
It's rights. Through the television broadcasting, and they
have limited rights to movies.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
if they did, you'd probably see a huge following on the internet for him.
Well, they can't. They've got red tape with the types of movies, so we'll just leave it at that.
To be honest, there are. I mean, okay, so let's address that.
But they do put daily stuff on social media and little video snippets on social media. No. There's more comments.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring something up too.
Thea says, Janet and James, what about reviews once in a while of independent horror movies with permission of the copyright holders?
We could try to do that.
We have considered that.
I'll be right back.
We're very interested in that.
Again. I'll be right back.
The CTAC, give out money like Mr. Beast. With us, it'd be like Monopoly money. Or like, a couple of singles, like $3 or a $2 bill. One of those dollar coins. John says, children's programming is very popular. Kids will watch the same things over and over, makes a fortune. Captain Flannel, monetization is a joke. Most chase don't. I'm not sure what he means there.
Someone's typing fast.
Yeah, maybe there was a typo or something.
All right, let me see if I can find it. I'll talk about something in a minute here. Let's figure it out.
Oh, he also Captain Flannel. That's a fun name. Big channels are usually big because they're talking and focusing on mainstream big topics. Way harder to make it huge when talking and focusing on lesser known things. Build a community.
Yep. Yeah. It's 100%
it's a very niche thing.
And that's why that was my point. It had nothing to do with the viability.
I understand, but I was thinking about all the other things associated with that.
Right. That's why I said if before it.
I understand your point completely, but I always throw in...
Okay, but we're trying to communicate a thought to the audience.
But I always think about all the particulars, or then the gear starts.
But that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the reason why they get so many views.
Yeah.
It could be pulled, it could be yanked right away, but it seems like that kind of hit does pick it up. Yeah, and anything that's not so popular, it's almost like eBay. It's like you can list anything, but what's selling. Well,
speaking of that, I wanted to go back into the eBay side of things.
So we're going to go eBay and do Mummy Monkey after? I'll save this for then.
Well, okay, we could do Mummy Monkey, fine. We could do that first.
No, let's go to eBay first.
Go to eBay? Okay. Let's see.
I didn't know what we were doing.
So, eBay stuff. We're listing. Holiday season's around the corner. Mm-hmm. I mean, we love Halloween, obviously, and in my mindset, I'm like one holiday at a time, but I'm
Well,
thinking get all this stuff put on eBay, so then we're good for the holiday season. So then there's more stuff people could shop.
Yep.
So then
And what have you listed interesting lately that you think is good?
Well, I've been sorting through more Barbie doll stuff. It's not that interesting to our viewers, but it's interesting to the collectors.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
So I picked up a couple bags of like Barbie doll random clothes, and some of them are from the 1990s, some are from the 1960s. It's kind of random. So I'm sorting through the pieces and parts to see like what's good. Stuff that's too ripped up or beat up, I throw out. Stuff that I think is sellable, I'll look up and try to match pieces that go with other pieces. It's like this whole thing. Mm-hmm. The research can take a lot of time, and he'll watch me like I'm sitting at my table and I've got these piles of little doll toys and stuff sitting around.
Very
all
true.
These little things to sort through. But I did pick up some things today at some thrift stores that they look bland and they look boring, but they're sellers. So for other people that do resale, it's, you know, maybe stuff to look out for. So.
Have you listed these yet?
And I did not,
Okay.
but I researched them.
The
And I'm going to
Marshalls
list
thing.
them probably tonight or tomorrow. So Lauren, Ralph Lauren, it's a pack of pillowcases. You don't really think much of it. It's a pack of pillowcases, right? That's not really exciting to sell on eBay. But these are king pillowcases. They're sateen fabric, 300 thread count. New in the package. It's new old stock. I paid $4 for these. It still has the tag on it, $4.
There's a Marshalls tag on there too.
And a Marshalls tag. So originally they were at Marshalls.
Probably for $20. Maybe not even
Probably, but these do sell for $45.
Boom.
One did sell within 90 days for $45 plus shipping. Not free shipping.
Cool.
So that's $45 right there. It's not super exciting, but it's nice. They're nice pillowcases that someone could use. Here's another one. Ralph Lauren Queen flat sheet. Paid $4 for it. It's a pink sheet. Not exciting. But this could be like a $50 sheet.
Now, there's a little caution though when you're selling something new. It doesn't matter what the product is. Yeah. The workaround on eBay is the one thing that is the most frustrating is when you sell something that's new like that, and someone takes it out, uses it, and just changes their mind, doesn't like it within the 30 days, and they want to send it back. Well, now you ain't got a new product anymore. So what does someone do in that case? What when you list
then you're screwed because they opened it and then they're going to return it.
Not really, because there's a little bit of a caveat there with returns. Remember the whole thing about who pays for the return, because there is a way to shift the power to the buyer in that situation to where you can offer a partial discount. Now they can fight that. I mean, so if you sell a product new or any product, it's probably a good idea. Now I'm starting to do this. Have the seller pay for the return, because when that happens,
I've been doing that for the past several years, where I have free shipping. Or not free shipping. I have free returns.
Right. Because
I pay the return shipping. I offer a free return on the items in my store. So if someone has an issue, if they're unhappy with it, they can technically send it back and I eat that return shipping. Right.
But you can also at the same time offer if you say, look, obviously this has been maybe, especially with the electronics and stuff, because that just kind of happened to me. And somebody sent me back a watch that I sold them that was working at the time, a vintage little digital watch. Yeah. It was working. I replaced the batteries. I cleaned it up, and they said, well, they wanted to return it, not because it wasn't working, because they thought it looked more like a lady's watch, and it was something that their son bought them for a surprise, and they just didn't like it.
They give you their whole story.
They send me the watch back, and it wasn't working. So did he break it? Did he do something and just wanted to return it? Well, since I paid for the return, I said, well, it was a $150 watch. I gave him $75 back. They let me do that. Let me just do a partial return.
Technically, they bought it, broke the watch, and then sent it back to you.
Some was damaged, and they sent it back.
You were nice and gave them half of their money back.
Now they went over my head.
Even though they broke the watch.
But they went over my head, and I think they got refunded fully. But I didn't lose anything. I lost $75 in a way, but I didn't give them the whole.
But how much did you pay for that watch?
50 cents.
See? So you didn't really lose.
No, I didn't lose anything.
You didn't really lose. You still gained $75.
Yes, I know. But it sucks to have that 150 in your hands and then it taken away.
Yeah, and then this bozo breaks it and sends it back.
But instead of half of it, all of it taken away, only half of it was taken away. And I think they got their full refund, but I still kept my 75.
Yeah. So in theory, like if I sold that bedding new in the pack,
Right.
and someone uses it and then returns it to me opened and in used condition, I don't have to give them a full refund.
That's what I was trying to
because they damaged it.
Right, they open it up, it's no longer new.
Because I offer free returns, eBay lets me do that as a seller. Like, oh, well, you sent it back not in the same condition.
Right.
I'm not giving you the full refund.
As opposed to having the seller pay for the return, then they automatically refund the person. You don't have any like I said, there is a caveat to that caveat, and that if they complain enough, because they never wrote me, I think the person that bought that,
they probably called eBay and complained.
Yeah, they complained. They got their whole. I got a notice from eBay that they were refunded.
They
but I
pulled
don't
a
have to do
Karen.
anything. Yeah, which is fine. Like I said, but it was nice to have that power. And I've had other issues in the past with returns where the buyer paid for the return, and I wound up eating everything. And eBay told me, well, look, next time offer free shipping or free returns, because then you can judge how much you want to refund them.
Right.
In a case like that.
So I'm just looking at comments right now. Captain Flannel says, love to thrift, bargain shop, and flip items, but I hate shipping anything, so I end up keeping more than I sell.
Yeah. Guilty.
And then Kevin says a QVC style thrift find mini show might be fun.
We've thought about that.
We've considered that also.
Yes,
we have
that could be
ideas
fun.
for that.
Yes, I think that could be good because we know it.
Yeah.
You know? And we know other resellers on YouTube that do they'll do auctions and
yeah, there's some YouTubers that do live auctions on YouTube.
And they use PayPal or Venmo or something.
They invoice everyone through PayPal or Venmo.
You pre-approve the bidders, right? They have to be pre-approved.
For this one channel in particular, I it's Old Curiosity Shop.
Yeah.
That guy makes some great informative videos about antiques and vintage glassware, vintage collectibles, and then they also run auctions.
Yeah.
So to be a part, if you want to bid on items, you have to email him ahead of time, and then they have a list of who the bidders are.
Yeah. So there's some flakes that come in there and just want to be a jerk and bid on stuff and not pay for it.
Exactly. So then that way, if if you're bidding, then they can invoice you the bill, and calculate the shipping for you. But I thought that was really fun, and he gets like a couple hundred viewers in his live auctions, and it looks like he, sells some things on there.
We should totally do that.
I think that's a really clever idea.
We know exactly how to do that. We know how to ship the stuff out without eBay being involved. Obviously, there's ways to do stuff.
I think for maybe
Christmas, you think?
Maybe around Christmas time for some of our collectible toys.
Yeah, a few weeks before, so we can send stuff out. Stuff
that might be more related to Mummy and the Monkey. I don't think I would want to dress in character and try to do a live auction for like sheets and pillowcases.
No, it would be themed.
It would have to be like more interesting things.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Kind of like what we did at Wasteland, where we sold Halloween stuff at Wasteland.
Yeah.
It would be monster or horror related or something fun like that.
Yeah, like maybe like vintage Halloween or maybe even vintage Christmas or action figures or something.
We got movies and VHS, DVD. We got all kinds of stuff that we want to get rid of anyway, so.
Yeah, maybe some retro VHS tapes, things like that.
We'll try to hammer out some of the particulars. That could be fun.
Yeah, maybe around Christmas time.
Yeah.
UFOs No Joke says play some Christmas music and I'm there.
We'll figure it out.
YouTube might have some Christmas music we could play.
They do.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Live auctions sound cool, says Thea.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Let's see. Monkey See, Mummy Sell. Kevin says I have a cool name for the show. Monkey See, Mummy Sell. Bargain barons are here. Woohoo!
Or Mummy See, Monkey Doo-Doo.
We wouldn't legally be allowed to hold an auction like that where we live. Here, we would legally need an auctioneer's license to hold our own auction, even an online one.
Really?
Oh. We have to look into the logistics of that.
There might be something to that, too. I've seen people do stuff.
Each state is different, so it might depend on where they live. So that is a good point.
Yeah, like I said, we have to hammer out some stuff, figure out a few things.
But maybe instead of an auction, depending on the place where you are, if you're not allowed to do one, then maybe you could do a buy it now or best offer.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what I'd like to get out of it, but if you email me the best offer, I'll take the best offer. Maybe something like that.
I've seen stuff on, people do stuff on Facebook auctions, like in the chat.
Yeah.
And you have so many hours to bid on something, and people just keep bidding. And I guess there you have to hope that, I think you have to be a member of that group.
Well, and then there's that site Whatnot. A lot of the more popular YouTubers and social media influencer people are using the site called Whatnot, and it's an auction site where you could do live video feeds and have stuff for sale, and people bid on there. But I don't know the red tape about that. Maybe the Whatnot site holds the responsibility there.
Yeah.
Kind of like how eBay
it's an infrastructure of
has their auctions, and they handle all that.
So I got some interesting stuff to flip over the weekend. I went over a buddy of ours' house, and he had a lot of cool stuff he dug up from when he was a kid. And did you send him those photos of that stuff? Did he get back to you on it?
Yeah.
Was he like, thank you?
Yes.
Oh, cool. But anyway, I got this really nifty Ben Cooper Spider-Man costume from 1965.
Ooh.
Yeah. The mask and stuff is still pretty good in here, but the costumes, I think it seems like they just have a little issue with aging. I don't know what happens to them, but
they break down over time.
Yeah, they
like the
rayon,
plastic and everything.
The rayon that's made out of this plastic, basically.
Yeah.
And so there's a cool from the past. I may have had a Spider-Man costume as a kid. I think I may have. It's the exact same thing they've been making since the 60s. That's
really cute.
And this really cool robot one from also, is this Ben Cooper as well? It is Ben Cooper. It was a line they put out called, what's it look like that says though?
That looks like something else. My gosh.
Can you read that on the top there?
What does it look like to you guys?
In the little dotted language. You see it up there?
It's supposed to say flick and trick costume.
Yeah, it looks like something else.
But it looks like something else.
Yeah, you know what we're talking about.
Ooh, it's a naughty robot costume.
Wow. Well, even flicking. So, flick and trick costume light up mask. It really likes it. It doesn't have it looks like it had like little light up. I don't know how it worked. It looks like it might have had like a battery that you had to touch and it would complete the circuit. It was really weird.
Yeah, it was like
D-cell battery.
Supposed to light up or something.
But it comes with a really cool robot mask, and I couldn't find one exactly like on eBay, so I aimed high. They had a couple on there. It was like a hobo, like a bum, like a hobo guy.
That is adorable.
And this like robot mask.
I am a robot.
Robot, boop boop.
A robot.
And I guess it had like a little light up mechanism on the inside, but that's kind of a cool find. He had like, I bought all 4 of the costumes he had for sale. He had a military one and a vampire one, which is kind of neat too.
Yeah, and we do have like some retro masks.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a couple witches hanging up there. Yeah, we keep some of the retro Halloween stuff, and then sure. Those are in your store right now.
They are. I did list them.
Yeah.
So, but there's some watchers on them, things like that, but no bites yet.
Yeah, and Thea says a lot of the early commercial costumes were made out of paper at first.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we've seen paper Halloween masks and stuff like that.
And like some old paper mache masks.
Yeah, they kind of like formed paper.
Yeah, really, really like old school stuff.
Yeah, really cool. That's like 20s and 30s.
Yeah. So yeah, eBay's picking up a little bit. I'm going through I don't have a big death pile of items. I keep like a couple totes of things that on a rainy day I could sort through. So like today I was sorting through Barbie stuff and junk, little pieces and parts. But sometimes I'll let that sit a while because, I have to be in the right mood to kind of sort through all those small pieces. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just trying to work on dwindling that down and always on the lookout for more goodies. But the flea market and garage sale season is quieted down. Like the garage sales are pretty much done with now.
Yeah, and the flea markets will go to, the one we go to will be an indoor one once a month only, and we're going to miss the first one because we'll be at a convention.
Oh, that's right.
But them's the breaks.
Yeah, but we did go to sometimes there's people that will run private estate sales. There's the estatesales.net website where you can look up, based on where you're from, what sales are going on in your part of town. And the indoor sales right now are going to be big since, the weather's getting colder in a lot of the states here. And
Yeah, but estate sales still go around all
Yeah.
year round. People are still checking out, or
Yeah.
unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah. Greetings from Pennsylvania, says movie and toy collector.
Hello there.
Woohoo!
PA in the house. But yeah.
Captain Flannel says, I remember going to Woolworths and picking up
A mask.
and
costume.
picking through a whole row of those old rubber band masks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite memory of Halloween, was like going to Woolworths, and it was the downtown one in Cleveland, Ohio. And I remember there was an escalator that went down to the lower level, and right off to the went down. It was off to wherever you got off. They were always on the right side. Like when you got off, you turn. They're like right there, like big stacks of them. Like they were all stacked up. Gosh, I remember that.
And I love with those old costumes, like, you know, it would have whatever cartoon or what character, like it has their name on the smock.
Yeah.
Like, you know, He-Man. You know, it's the He-Man mask.
Overbranded.
But then
yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's on the smock that you're wearing.
Yeah,
so then it's like, because, you know, He-Man is always walking around with a picture of himself and his name on his shirt.
Well, that was just a way to brand it all. I mean, and to keep it so if one was worn without the other, you know.
I know, but it's just silly because, you know, I'm picturing like
It wasn't authentic.
these characters wouldn't be wearing that.
They're not that, right?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it was just all, you know, getting more bang for their buck. It's a way to advertise the brand, you know, the product.
Like Donald Duck doesn't walk around with Donald Duck on his shirt.
Should get you a shirt that says Janet Decay.
Just walk around. Yeah, there we go. We should make...
Well, we do. We
like-
have our little shirts say Janet Decay and Grim Glory.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So we do walk around with our names on ourselves.
Sometimes.
So there's a reason. I know you're saying it
just
never
silly,
matched
you
what
know.
they wore in the cartoon.
It doesn't
or the
match.
movie.
Yeah, like their official outfit
was
from
just-
the cartoon or whatever they're
It
from.
was just branded, you know. That's how they do
Yeah.
corporate stuff.
Captain Flannel says, I'm in Kansas City area, and the thrift stores are always more full in the winter. Maybe because the weather's cold, they can't run a yard sale, so it's like, oh, I guess I'll just give it to the thrift store.
I'm trying to remember. I used to go to thrift stores in Kansas City. I lived there. I lived in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm trying to think how many, because I love thrift stores. I know I did when I lived in Virginia Beach. I had a ton of them I used to go to. But the Kansas City, Missouri one's kind of drawing a blank. I know I did, but I'm trying to remember what they were. Not a lot of memories of where I was living downtown. They were probably on the outskirts, probably
In the suburbs.
going towards Olathe and all those places like that, yeah, or other parts of Missouri or Kansas City.
Thea
Or Kansas.
says, now I'm imagining He-Man walking around with a name tag and the name tag upside down.
He-Man. Well, this one says Spider-Man on it, you know. So
Yeah, because Spider-Man has to wear his name and his
this says
picture of
Spider-Man.
himself.
Now, the robot doesn't say anything because it's a generic character. There's
Yeah.
no name for it, but so you're better off buying the generic characters than the
It's just silly.
the branded ones. But
I think
yeah,
it's fun.
so Mummy Monkey stuff. We're rolling up. We're gonna have a new show this week, right? We're gonna a new program.
Yeah, a new episode this Friday. We're trying to consistently put out a show every Friday for the month of October. And we want to put out a Halloween special for Halloween night.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working on that. We're in talks with another filmmaker, trying to get the movie files so we can give that a try. And then another independent film, I have to change out some music because some of the music got like a notice on YouTube. But this Friday, we're probably going to show the movie Bloodwoods.
Yes, Bloodwoods. We showed it.
The vampire
before.
movie Bloodwoods. It's an independent film that we played several years ago, and we haven't played it in a while. And it's a pretty good vampire movie that was made by filmmaker John Rain from Polestar Studios.
That's correct.
And I think he's based out of Pennsylvania.
That is also correct.
A lot of indie filmmakers in Pennsylvania.
A lot of creativity in PA.
Yeah. Yeah, so in that one you did put sound effects in. Because some people were saying they missed the sound effects.
Yeah, we were given permission by John Rain to because we showed Bloodwoods once before without any, and then when we replayed it, I had the sound effects, and perhaps John Saxon. I have to go take a look.
Yeah, we should make sure John Saxon's in that one.
Yeah. I'll double check. Sorry.
And we were invited to a haunted house to get some video, but I don't know if we're gonna get to do that this season. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. And we have, there's another horror host super fan that also wants us to get some video of his like collection and costume.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
We'll leave it at that, and that's gonna be really fun to get some of that video.
We're just this month is just like, as much as we want to enjoy it, it's so much to do. You know, it's like we can enjoy Halloween after Halloween.
I think so, because it's almost like the mall Santas, when they're working around Christmas time, they're just always busy, and that's how we are right now. We're just like, it's fun and we love it. But
oh my God, yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. I mean, it's just we get super busy.
Yeah, because even if we do like a party, we're going to be, like we just did our last Mummy Monkey episode was from a friend's party, a Halloween party.
Yeah, we were on location near downtown.
But we had to set it up the night before, so you can do that.
And do the stream test.
Yeah, and then
check the lighting.
And everything is still, all the show stuff we had to do while we stream live. Still had to go on. I was queuing up music in the background. I'm not even sure how it came out.
Yeah, we haven't even watched the replay of it. Some people were saying that the sound quality wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Bargain Barons, thank you so much.
Well, yeah.
He goes, you guys work so hard. You deserve 1 million subscribers. A $10 super chat. Thank you.
Hey, I got my Barber Papa handy.
And Donna's watching. Hello, Miss Donna.
Donna.
Janet, you have a birthday coming up the same day as mine.
Ooh.
Ray says, loved the show on Friday, homegrown.
Cool.
That's awesome. Ray loved it. Thank you.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, what was really interesting about last Friday's show, we're playing the independent film Welcome to Deer Creek. The filmmaker is at the party. He directed the movie. So he's at this same Halloween party. The guy who invited us to the Halloween party
was the lead actor.
Was the lead actor in the movie.
Yeah, the bad guy.
And his wife and son were also in the movie. They had cameos in it.
Yeah.
So it's like really cool. And then another guy that was at the party was one of the zombies towards the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, they were also friends with like this wrestler guy that wanted to be a part of the show.
Yeah, that's kind of happened
organically. And it just sort of happened where he introduced himself and he's like, hey, I'm Preston Steele and I've been wrestling for 32 years.
Yep.
And we're like, awesome. Come on.
Yeah, let's
join
talk.
us.
We got a celebrity.
Let's talk on the show.
Yeah, but and he actually wrestled with Cactus Jack, and other people in the actual,
so many people he's wrestled with.
Big time wrestlers and everybody in between. But yeah, so I had fun with the show. I mean, I thought it was great. It's a change of pace for us.
Yeah.
And I love, and I'm not afraid of a challenge, and I like to be able to, have a little bit of a, something to, a little bit different than just sit here, which I love doing too. But
yeah,
we had to, and we got to talk in between, and kind of just mingle, but also, but at the same time, make sure the show runs.
Make sure the show is running smoothly.
And our buddy, he had the show on in his living room. They pulled up YouTube. And
there were guys hanging out in the living room. There were a lot of people
watching
the show that we were streaming from the garage.
So that's legit. It don't get any better than that. I mean,
so that was really fun.
I mean, the technology nowadays, like I said, it's given people a lot of creative freedom that they never had before. Or or they had to get approval to do stuff for a TV station, or or you have to wait and wait, whatever it might be. Even if it's songwriting, if it's sport, whatever it is your passion is, you can and you want everyone to see it. That the internet, the YouTube, other platforms, it's perfect for that.
And it was just really cozy. They had like a fire going, this fun graveyard scene in the backyard. So when we would cut from the movie to coming back to us, you put in the video of their graveyard scene.
At the end of the second,
it was really cute.
Part of the movie that the night before we filmed some of the graveyard he put together.
Yeah.
And I just used that for the bumper, the trail out for coming back to us after the second part of the movie. But anyway, so it was a lot of fun. Thanks, Keith.
So thanks
and Della for letting us come over your house and do what we did.
Yeah, it was really nice they invited us, and I'm glad it all worked out, because we were like, it was a lot of build up, like, oh, I hope this is going to work right, and then once we got started, it went by really fast.
Yeah, and we're going to do it. We're going to hit up another party or two this weekend.
To Halloween get video party. To use for future shows. We won't be live there.
No, but again, to go to a party, but at the same time, we're going to be trying to get, try to get material for shows.
For future shows.
Very near future shows, for
very,
this month.
Very near future shows.
So, woof.
And I think we still have Cinema Wasteland footage we still need to edit. There's maybe 1 or 2 more interviews we have to edit.
We sure do.
During last week, we played 2 interviews. It was Toby Radloff. And
Toby Radloff.
Yeah, the nerd.
Nerd.
The nerd guy.
We got him, and then the other dude from Killer or Murder
Craig
Hornets.
Muckler.
Yeah, Muckler.
He made the Murder Hornets and the Microwave Massacre movie.
The kind of Rip Taylor kind of a guy.
Tom Gross is here in the chat.
Cool.
The famous actor Tom Gross.
Speaking of talent from PA.
Yeah. He says
Famous
Deer Creek is a great movie.
Welcome to Deer Creek. Yeah, it was good. I mean, again, you get to put it in the context it was made by a 18-year-old kid who had done a few movies before, but I've seen people do stuff that they've been making movies for years. It's not that good. This was good. It was pretty good.
Very good. And guys, if you like hanging out and listening and watching the podcast, please give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. We do appreciate it.
Sure do. Now,
put the good vibes out there.
Oh, I guess we're talking about the Mummy Monkey now, right?
I guess we are. I mean, we're just kind of bouncing around back and forth now.
Well, here, I'm gonna read something to you, and I want to comment on
something?
this. Yes.
Uh-oh.
We got.
Is that good, bad, ugly?
It's just something I like to talk about. Not a little bit. Maybe that's not. Well, you tell me.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter who the person is, but we got.
So someone left a comment? Did they message
you? It was a comment on a Facebook thing.
Okay.
A Facebook post, and hopefully you'll figure it out. So it was by someone who was worked with horror hosts in the past. Let's put a movie host
with
in the
movie
past,
hosts.
local Cleveland ones.
Okay.
And he wrote, the opening to your show is something that early local horror hosts of the past couldn't even imagine. Now he's talking about the computer animation.
That was done
thanks
for us. To the amazing work of Seth Martin.
Yep.
So Seth Martin
for the current one.
Our current introduction.
Right.
He put that together, and that was really sweet of him. He sent that to us.
Yeah, and Randy did our other one.
Yes, Randy did the other intro.
Right, so we have 2 different ones, but they're pretty much the same.
And Randy's done some other graphics for us.
Yes.
And he was just, super nice and wanted to send that in.
Yeah, so we have 2, but they're about the same as far as that they're computer generated, computer animated.
Like computer made, yeah.
Yeah, computer generated. They're really cool. So he goes, couldn't even imagine. Just getting a decent logo made and maybe animating it in some way was about all that could be done on the non-existent budgets. The upside of it was that young people with a few art supplies felt comfortable trying to create artwork for the show, equal or better than with what the TV stations came up with. That's true too, because so there's a lot. The person that wrote this maybe
is an artsy person.
Well, and that they don't know everything about us and what we do.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping I was going to write them back, but I can address it here a little bit too.
Okay.
And he goes, "That's what I did. I was able to just cobble stuff together and felt comfortable enough." And that's my story too.
And that's how we started doing our videos. We would just cobble things together.
My story too. The story.
Our original introductions for the videos we used to do.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Very, very basic.
Yeah, but as a kid, when I would watch like Houlihan and Big Chuck or Big Chuck and Little John, they had the Ghoul. They would have they had a set, they called it, right? Their set. And to me it looked like these big panels, like the giant panels put together, 3 or 4 of them, and they just hodgepodge stuff on it. It's like, that's what this set is based on. This is actually
things that are cobbled together.
Yeah, this is 3 pieces of cardboard
with a bunch of stuff
with a bunch of random stuff from my
comic book art and clippings and maybe
packaging and weird stuff, monster related
stuff.
So it's just a big collage of that, right? So that's and as a kid, I thought that's what you did in your horror host. You put your set together.
Well, because
that's
what I could do you grew up watching.
And I thought, and it looked achievable. That's what this individual is saying. So he goes, "That's what I did." Now I would take one look at how amazing the graphics are and feel that I could never contribute anything that wouldn't look too shabby by comparison.
Oh, but we love shabby.
The other take from watching tonight, meaning the show we just did over the weekend, is that the jaded old man I've become. I look at all the amazing effort the filmmakers made to create the most gruesome imagery possible with no one being hurt in the process. I wonder what the same minds could come up with if challenged to create the most uplifting and inspiring piece of work ever created by an indie-type film group. I think back to a series, Herb Thomas, who was Soul Man, who played Soul Man in the Big Chuck and Little John movies. Or movies, in the skits.
Skits, yeah.
I guess Herb Thomas did a thing called Meditations. I vaguely remember Meditations on TV8.
So he had a TV show?
Herb Thomas it was called Meditations.
Okay.
I wouldn't know how I would respond to that kind of challenge myself, but I don't see people making that challenge because nobody probably thinks there is any demand for it. So
what is the... Okay.
There used and then he gets into this. There used to be a comparison made between blue comics and ones that would make, that means like using dirty language and foul,
blue type of humor.
Yeah, it was called blue.
Yeah.
Comics, and ones that could make a cutting, hilarious joke without saying anything but G-rated language. Some would get an easy laugh just by shocking people with words. Harder to do now. The really talented people could just have the same impact through brilliant insight. Just some quick reactions for the first time watching more than clips from a show. Lots of talent, lots of tools, and a natural way to make it look easier than it is. That's nice,
Oh.
So there's a lot going on in that comment. I think that this person, I'm going to write them back. I think directly.
Yeah, maybe write them back with some more info.
There's a lot of complimentary stuff in there. But then again, there are a lot of people. These people that are generating these things for us. I think you have to have that talent, and that's just a tool.
Yes. Computer stuff is cool, but you have to know how to work those tools. Right. You have to know. You have to have like a creative eye.
Well, you know what?
You have to have the eye to know what to do with those computer things.
Yes and no. Definitely with computer programs.
With the exception now with
AI, where you literally type in what you want, and it will. And they're getting it to be able to make videos with this. I have mixed feelings
about that.
Me too.
I have mixed feelings about it. I like it when people actually create the art with their hands.
Me too. Well, but what's crazy is that I would make a joke years ago and say, well, it's not like you just type it in and the computer makes it. Well, now that's the truth.
But here's the thing, the AI stuff, you can't copyright it because all they're doing is pulling a bunch of images from the internet and making some type of image salad.
Yes, I know that.
It's not like they're doing this, like, it's not like the computer is drawing the picture for you.
Well, I understand.
They're pulling other people's pictures and putting them together.
It's cobbling together a bunch of existing artwork.
To make a picture salad.
It cobbles together existing copywritten artwork to make an image.
So it's not really...
So you can make this
all... It's more like a toy. Yeah. It's not really like an actual art tool.
It's fancy clip art.
Yeah, it's just clip art.
Yeah, I know this.
You can't actually copyright that art or do anything like that.
You're not. I understand what you're saying. But my joke back then was that you just couldn't do that. Well, now you can.
And
whether it's legal or not,
it might be fun to play around with, but ultimately that's not real art, in my opinion.
Well, not because you didn't.
I like art that people actually create. Yeah. Whether it be maybe they use computer graphics and they do the graphics on their own in a program.
And some of that stuff goes way back.
Or they're hand drawing everything or painting or whatever.
There have always been programs that had like even digital clip art, movie piece parts that you would just find at the thing. Like what was that one that everybody used to like, a Poser it was called or something, where it had like, you can build on top of like people, like models of things.
Yeah, like it would have basic shapes and then you can kind of tweak it. But you have
to, tweak it.
Yeah.
Right, and you're very limited to what you could do that way and everything.
Right.
But to have a vision and even how to construct some of this stuff. But anyway, let me.
We're going off the rails
a little
here.
bit.
Let's steer it back.
But so going back, all that kind of stuff as a kid, and watching these shows inspired me and made me feel like I could do these things as well. And I became I was always an artist, I guess, since I was a little kid. Every kid draws, but not everyone keeps drawing. I don't know why.
And you were the ones that kept drawing.
I was one of
those people that kept drawing.
So I'm able to contribute all that to the show. I mean, a lot of my graphic design stuff and artwork, we don't need to hit anybody up for a lot of stuff. I can do a lot of it, which is good. So it's, and that helps us out. But so I was inspired the same way to be, as a creative that's what we do with the show too. We have a lot of the stuff that we like to do, whether it's, designing costumes, characters, things like that.
Or decorating or, moving things around here.
It's all visual design and everything. But yeah, so anyway, but that thing, so
we like hearing the feedback.
Yeah. And there are filmmakers that make movies that aren't about all gore and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are some filmmakers that do make more inspiring.
Well, you interviewed one. It was, I forget his name offhand.
Oh,
but
what was
it was
the
the
name
guy
of that?
from
The guy from My Bloody Valentine.
Robert Valentine.
My Bloody Valentine. I said that.
You said time.
My Bloody Valentine.
Time.
I have a stuffy nose.
It's Valentine.
It might sound.
My blood. Yeah, but Rob can't even. But he made a movie called A Fish Story. And he gave us a copy. It's a great, great movie.
I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, he was the killer guy in My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, Rob.
But in person, he was super nice.
You interviewed him at
and he made a movie called Fish Story that was actually a really nice story.
It's great. It has nothing.
It was more of like a family kind of movie.
It was a Hallmark and Discovery and the Sci-Fi Channel.
It had like a Hallmark kind of feel, but then it had a little bit of a paranormal twist.
Yes.
So I thought it was cute. It was a cute movie.
Without giving anything away, and you really don't by saying that. It's really good. And I was shocked.
Got here late. I missed all the pics. Says Statue of Liberty.
Statue
of Liberty. That's a funny name.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not Sam Roberts was his name.
Sam Roberts.
That's the guy.
Okay.
He wrote it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and he's in it as well.
Thea says, Janet and James, I love that you share each other's passions and have so much enthusiasm for what you do. I think it attracts us to your show. Thank you, Miss Thea. Thank you.
Oh, look at this thing John Lucky did, a vampire.
He drew that?
Yeah, a pencil. And that's digital pencil.
Well, see,
you still need to draw.
He did that with his hands, though.
Yes.
It's a digital pencil, but he still drew it.
I still type in stuff with my hands if I'm making stuff in AI. But anyway. So, yeah.
Did I miss all the pics?
Pics what?
Maybe they mean like thrifting pics, like stuff we've picked up.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really show too much.
We didn't really show too much. I did go out and thrift today, but it was kind of boring stuff. You've got your robots from the other day, or your Halloween costumes from the other day. You have one robot there.
Yeah, one robot and a Spider-Man costume.
Wiki Bobby, you're going to decorate for Thanksgiving next month. Yeah, probably.
Of course. We're already decorated for Christmas.
He says, I'm a retired picker, says Stashu. Cool.
So let's talk about some movies we watched recently.
Yeah, so we didn't get to talk about movies Friday night, movies that we watched. So we're going to talk a little bit about some movies. And then
which one was Granny on? I think it was this one here.
Yeah, it was that one.
So we decided Saturday night we're going to, after the Bone Jangler, we're going to watch a movie.
We have these bad movie packs.
We did.
Tomb of Terrors, thanks to Seth Martin for recommending these.
I ordered these right away.
James did order these online. And we watched on Saturday night after Bone Jangler, we watched the movie Granny.
The Granny. Or Granny.
No, it's just called Granny. It's from 1999, I think. And it looks like it was shot on video.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. But there's a group of friends, and they're hanging out at the one friend's house, and then this killer...
Which looked like a house that it was like a model home. It was like, it looked like nobody really lived in it. It
looked like a rental house, or like a house that they would show you if you wanted to buy a new house.
It was very Spartan.
For your
but
it looked like a development house. It was weird. There wasn't much in there.
So there's friends who meet there on this movie. Go ahead.
So they're all hanging out, and the friends are talking about their personal stuff and sex lives and things like that. And these scenes are kind of dragged out
in a way that you would talk to no one about.
And it's like
silliness.
I can't think of people who actually talk like this. The dialogue was really cheesy.
Well, and they got into like their fears or what their phobias were.
What their phobias were, which had nothing to do with what happened in the movie. Really.
No. And this is one guy goes, well, I got an idea. I want you all to leave, and I'm going to put together a skit. They kept using this word skit, and it was driving me nuts.
Oh, it was annoying.
Oh, I got to get some stuff for my skit, and if you come back, and then my skit...
Come back in an hour to see my skit.
Was this part of his skit? It's like, they never heard the word skit used in a movie, and who goes to a party and hopes that there's skits that night?
It's really weird. The whole thing was really odd.
It's just an odd word. I know we do skits for our show, but...
I guess they went out to go shopping and then came back, and then... there was this killer guy in the house, attacking everyone.
A 7-foot tall grandma.
Like a 7-foot tall guy wearing like a grandma nightgown.
A silver
with like a
gray,
grandma mask.
A rubber mask with a silver long gray wig.
It kind of looked like a Mrs. Bates knockoff.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen the original Psycho.
So we're sitting on there trying to.
Yeah,
we're
she
literally
looked like that.
we're choking this movie down, and I'm just trying to make it palatable by making fun of it, and we're just trying to.
Because I kept wanting to find out, like, okay, well, what happens? Who is dressed up like this?
And it had an interesting twist, I thought, at the end, but
yeah,
it did just what it took to get there. It was just driving me nuts.
It was really dumb.
The casting was weird.
It was such a waste of time.
The script was terrible.
But we're so weird. Like we feel like
only how many more? Like 97 more movies to watch.
Yeah, like we feel like we even though they're bad, like I still want to watch them.
Well,
because sometimes there are good ones on these.
The next one's got to be Prehistoric Bimbos in Armageddon City.
Prehistoric what?
Prehistoric Bimbos in Armageddon City.
I haven't heard anyone use the word bimbo in a long time.
Thank you so much, who recommended these. Seth Martin.
Seth Martin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I'm like in love.
We do like watching these bad movies.
Well, as like the comedian Bill Hicks, who's been dead for a bunch of years now. But he used to talk about watching the show Cops on TV.
Yeah.
And he compared to a guy with a sore tooth that keeps poking it. Ow! I don't. Ow! Ow! Oh, Cops is on. Ow! Ow! That's us with this stuff. We just can't not do it.
Yeah. There was one I tried watching and I turned it off because it was like too. I didn't like it.
There was that one that was on there. Yeah.
We watched like one scene and I'm like, I'm good.
The Scream Queen.
Kill the Scream Queen or
dies
something?
Last or whatever.
Or I don't remember.
Kill the Scream Queen.
But it was like...
It starts out like some kind of torture porn movie.
Yeah, it was too... It didn't really have much of a story.
Where was it going to go?
I think it was made to be like...
Shocking.
They were just going after the shock value.
It did start out funny because it was just a close-up of a woman's eyes and her mouth, and she goes, "Oh my God, what? You have a camera and you want to make a movie? I'm in." What do I have to do? I'll do anything, but I don't want to say what she said. But
we won't get into that.
But then it gets into some really ridiculousness.
But it was like, eh.
But we redeemed ourselves. So I said, well, we can't end on this granny movie. So I said, hey, you like westerns? She loves westerns.
I do like westerns a lot. She's into
westerns, the regular straight westerns and stuff, right?
Like old school westerns.
The Virginian. What else do you watch now? Whatever's on MeTV or whatever, right?
No, it was Grit.
Grit.
And some of them were on MeTV.
Yeah, but whatever, like those kind of westerns, the 50s.
Bat Masterson. I love Bat Masterson.
So I said, well, you like that, and we love werewolves and vampires. You wanted a monster. You said, I want to see something with a monster in it.
Yeah, because that
killer people stuff.
Yeah, I was like, let's look for a monster movie.
Because slasher
I like
movies,
the monster stuff a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference. Like slasher movies get to be. It's like that with what's that?
Like Halloween.
Like art.
We figure out what happens in the movie.
There's nothing to figure out.
Michael Myers gets people.
There's someone going around just cutting everybody up, and that's the whole movie.
That's the whole story.
Yeah.
And to me, I like to see the monster stuff.
Instead of a guy with the William Shatner mask, now it's a guy dressed like a clown. Art
or
the
a
Clown.
Werewolf.
Well, Art the Clown. No, a werewolf's a monster. Different.
Oh, you're talking about the clown thing.
I'm talking about the difference
Terrifier.
The difference between those kind of people slashing people up.
Yeah, Terrifier 1 and... I'm not a fan of those movies, the Terrifier movies.
Well, the one that I can't watch again...
This is my opinion, though. I know a lot of people really like the Terrifier movies.
But at least there's a little bit of it. But that's still in the same category of cutting people up movies.
Yeah.
The one I can't watch again, we're looking through the collection, I'm like, I should just probably throw this movie out, is The Strangers.
Yeah, it's like really...
Because it's just like people that kill people movies. That's it. I mean...
There's no real story there. It's just...
And it's not bad. It's just to me. It happens all the time for real.
Yeah.
There's a psychopathic family that just kills people that move into the neighborhood. Basically, right? They put those weird masks on, and everybody dies. This is it's a depressing.
I want to see other stuff.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
So I said, you like westerns? You like werewolves?
I like the monster stuff.
Here's something I picked up from the dollar store. Not that it was released to the dollar store, but it was where I found it, Dollar Tree. It's called Blood Moon, and I watched most of this movie, and I think I forgot how it ended. So I thought, let me put this in. It takes place in like 1886, and it's about a werewolf attack on this group of people. And And it's got a lot of character development stuff in it. And it's got a really good looking werewolf. I was impressed. We were like, whoa, look at that thing, right?
Yeah.
When they finally show it.
The werewolf looks really cool in it.
It's weird. It's got this huge body.
The costumes and the effects are really cool. It has practical effects and CGI effects. Yeah. The set, the lighting and everything, for not a Hollywood movie. I think it's an indie movie.
Oh,
who put that one out?
If you could figure it out. And there's DVDs in there, too. Uncorked Entertainment. They put this out in 2014. And it's set up to have a sequel, but man, I'd love to see a sequel to
I wonder if they put out a sequel.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but it's really
it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I totally recommend it. If you can
that's one you found at the dollar store.
Yeah, it could be on Tubi for all I know. It
probably is. Everything's on Tubi now.
So look up Blood Moon from 2014 if you want a good mashup. Way better than Cowboys and Aliens, that mashup.
Yeah. It has a Western adventure feel, but then it also has the horror film aspect and the monster aspect.
And when I first watched this,
it's like a fun. To me, it's like a fun Halloween.
It was great because
type of movie.
I was watching this in my outside man cave, and I had a fire going, so it was like perfect. It was like you got that smoky wood smell, and these Western people walking around, werewolf. It was good. It kind of went together. But I was happy that I remembered most of this movie, and then I must have cut it off and was going to watch it later. I didn't, and I'm happy I watched it with you because I got to see what happened.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked watching that.
Blood Moon, everybody.
So yeah, everyone check out Blood Moon. But okay, we'll probably wrap this up in a little bit. So yeah, eBay stuff. Trying to think if updates and appearances. We will be at we'll talk it over Friday, but yeah, we're going to be at an art gallery later on in the month, in another week or two.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. And then after Halloween is Akron Comic Con. So we'll be at Akron Comic Con. It's a 2-day show.
It's still a bunch of stuff coming up.
And that'll be fun. The people at Akron Comic Con are always super nice. And I love to see all the different costumes and the cosplayers. Like what people dress up as.
Yep. It's going to be fun. And
then after that,
it'll be a blast.
Later on in November, there's a toy show, some type of toy collectible show. I think it's like the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we're going to be there, I think. I think that's 2 days.
Yes.
But okay.
So lots more appearances coming up before the year's out. And,
we'll have more info once these events get closer.
Nonstop. But hey, you know what? I'm happy I have you as a partner.
Aw, thanks, partner.
In crime. That's right. We're doing it all together here. But and thanks for you guys for watching. I mean, come on.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And I think it's dinner time.
It is.
I want to go eat some grub here.
That pot roast I made was banging. It's got leftovers tonight.
All right, guys. So if you like our podcast, give the video a like. We do appreciate you guys. And we will see you Friday for the Hairy Scary Hangout.
That's right. Take care until then, and thanks for watching.
Good night, good frights. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh.
Ooh.
Something
scary, spooky. Did you cut it off before it fell?
No. There we go. Something fell off of the...
I know.
Everything's just taped together and held on with, like, tape and a prayer.